Our KVK is finally over, and it's been a pretty crazy one, especially for me. And you guys know what time it is. It's time for us to go through my stats before and after KVK and see how many resources did I consume, how many speed ups did I consume, and most importantly, which of my commanders did the best. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Chappy Gaming, and you know what time it is!
Which commander did the best? We're gonna figure out who's better than the rest.
Welcome back, guys. I thought I'd use a little jingle there. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll go great. If you liked it, drop a like. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section. So today we are going to be looking at my stats before and after KVK, and we're going to look at which of my commanders did the best between this KVK, last KVK, and seeing if QSH really did pull out as much as I think he did, because honestly, it felt like he was carrying me by far. So without further ado, let's talk about the elephant in the room, my power. So I started KVK with a lot more power than I have right now. Just to put it in perspective, when I started KVK, I had around 80.5 million power just going into it. You can see that right there. But what's even more wild is by the time we actually had combat, I was closer to around 82 million power. This was during Marauders. I powered up right after this, and you can see I'm all the way down to 58.2 million power. How did that happen? Well, if you guys are not new to the channel, you know I got zero. Check out the video on the top right side of your screen to go check that out. Now, this was the team up. I'm assuming you guys already know that. You probably just came from my other video where I talked about the fact that we lost KVK. But I lost a lot of troops this KVK. And so let's actually see how this netted out, because I know I lost a lot of power. We all know I lost a lot of power. But what does that actually look like? Well, I ended up with 2.77 million 2.77 million dead troops. Now, in theory, I'm going to get 60% back. We'll see if I actually do. I'm going to be migrating technically after KVK ends, but before I get the troops back. I don't know. I'm thinking I'll probably get stuck with 50%, which is fine. But that is insane. And this is what the breakdown was. Again, I got zeroed, so this doesn't surprise me really at all. But I took a lot of deads this KVK. And what's wild is, originally, I only had around 600k deads, between 5 and 600k deads before I got zeroed. So do with that what you will. Was I like an all-out fighter zeroing myself through this? No, not really. I'm going to be honest. But I think that's pretty good, all things considered. And I'm getting a lot of troops back, 1.6 million. Plus I have 700k, maybe even more in my hospital. So I think I'll be all right. That should put me at 2.5. Then I can train up. I already got my farms working hard in the new kingdom. Now, resource spent healing units. I spent about 16 billion, which is not that high considering how crazy this KVK is. I think it's pretty comparable to what I spent last KVK. And I will be getting 15% back here, which is going to be nice. So that should help me out a little bit. And all of this will be given to me when I land in my new kingdom. And that's intentional. So realistically, I'll probably end up around 700 million food, 500 million wood, probably around 450 for stone, and then a little bit more gold. As of right now, my farms are sitting around 1 billion of each, so I should be okay going into my next KVK, which is awesome. So I'm really excited about that. I think that'll be good. This KVK was crazy, guys. Like, it was absolutely bonkers. Now, for kills, I didn't do very well this KVK. I'm going to be straight up. I didn't do very well this KVK. I got 27.5 million kills. I was fighting 1365. I was fighting 2489. My trades were terrible. They weren't, well, my trades were terrible. If you look at my kill points, I was 708, and you look at my heal points, I was 745. So there were people that traded worse than me, but I was not trading particularly well. I would say if you just look at these numbers alone, I was like, I don't know, 80%. Most trades, just 1365 hurt like hell to fight. So yeah, that's okay. Honestly, I think what really held me back was my equipment. My equipment and my armaments just were not where they needed to be. And honestly, the new crystal tech, I know we're not really talking about that, but the new crystal tech did make fighting better. And what I ended up doing was I bought all the pop-ups, which you should do. And then I bought Crystal Quest, and that got me to pre-defer level 3 or 4 before Kingsland, which was awesome. Do that. You'll be in a good spot. That's what I would 1000% recommend you do. If you don't buy a Crystal Quest, you won't be able to get pre-defer. So just keep that in mind. But overall, I like the new crystal tech. I'm a fan. I'm looking forward to getting it in my next KVK2, hopefully. So that's pretty cool. We went through my resources spent. We went through my kills. Let's actually see what my kill points shook out to be. So this is my kill points right now. And then if we go back over to here, this is what my kill points were going into this KVK. So you can see I pulled around 500 million kill points between the KVKs, which I think is pretty good. I mean, what is that, 550 just about? No. Yeah, just about 500 kill points. I'm okay with that. Again, I wish I got more kills than I did, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Was I a slacker? Did I not do well enough? I know I zeroed myself. That was maybe not the smartest move, but I needed to migrate anyways. So honestly, the fighting was done. So this is where I landed. I was fighting a ton, and as you guys know, I don't use pilots, so this is what I got. Overall, I feel pretty good about it. 500 million is pretty good. Just my 2 cents. So there's our kill point change. Now, what about our speed ups? So speed ups are an interesting one because going into this KVK, I had a ton of speed ups and I was really set up. So here's where I was when we started. I had 1,904 days of universal speed ups. I can tell you for sure I don't have that right now. And then I had 856 days of research speed ups, 15 days of training, and just about 13 days of healing. So that's what I had. Now, are you ready for this? Now I'm at 1692 days of universal. So I spent just about 200 days of speed ups, which I don't know that I'm going to get to recuperate before my next KVK, which means I may finally be going net negative there. I did end up trading a bunch of research speed ups for training speed ups, which was such a good move. Definitely use that event, guys. Don't waste that event because that was huge. I'm in a good spot with my building speed ups. That made me a little bit nervous going into this KVK because, I just used all my building speed ups to max all my structures. Originally going into this KVK, I also just used building speed ups, so I'm all set for the next set of crystal buildings, so that'll be fine. I have 3 days of healing speed ups. No surprise there. It's these universals that really took a hit. So 200 days of speed ups for an entire KVK, 27 million kills. That feels good. I know a lot of people that'll go through a lot more than that, so I feel pretty good about that. Now, that's speed ups. We've covered resources. We've covered power. Let's look at what you guys really want to see, and that is commander stats, right? Hopefully everyone wants to see commander stats. And let's start with the man, the myth, the legend. I'm Max QSH going into this KVK. My belief is he is by far my best performer this KVK. And honestly, guys, this is my equipment on him. I have Milky Way. I also have KVK bow. I should have done things differently, but I didn't. So this is where we are. I know it's not the best, but even so, and these are my armaments. Again, no hunter, no legendary. You guys know I don't win KVKs, but I feel pretty good about this. This is fine. I got artisan. So this commander pulled in, drum roll please, 3.89 million kills. That's wild. I feel really good about that. For a commander that was just released, 3.9 million kills is absolutely nuts. So that's pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. So that's not bad. Now, let's look at our other archer pair because he was with him. So let's go look at Zug real quick. So here's Zug. So Zug is at 22.5 million kills now. Wow, I've gotten a lot of kills with him. That's surprising, considering my archers are constantly targeted. So that's what we have now. And going into this KVK, he was at... Dang. he got just about the same amount. Yeah, 3.9 million kills or so. You'll see the number here. I usually do the math after the video. But compare and contrast, that's not bad. Was this my best March? If this is my best March, I'm going to be cracking up only because I did not invest in my crystal tech for archers nearly as much as my infantry or cavalry. My city skin is not for archers. It is skill damage, which I guess will benefit them, but it's not the best. So I'll be surprised. I think my archer armaments are also my worst. So not bad. So that's fine. Now let's go look at Nevsky. You know, everyone loves Nevsky, the commander that is probably next to hit the bench. Unfortunately, Nevsky's he's just not doing anymore, guys. This was the equipment I was running with Nevsky. So I think it's slightly better than the archer equipment that I have. And Nevsky did have my hunter inscription. So if we pull this up, hunter, boiling blood, strategic, and elite. I think this is a pretty good setup. I don't know. I feel good about this. Considering my sets, I think this one's pretty good. So how are his stats? We got 21.6 million kills. And going into this KVK, he had 19.8. So it looks like I got around 2 million, a little less than 2 million kills. That's a bummer. I was running Nevsky Joan, and I got less than 2 million kills from him. Yeah, just about 1.8. I think that he's going to be benched. I need some new cavalry commanders, but that's okay. I didn't think Nevsky was going to be my heaviest hitter, but it does ask an interesting question considering that I have my best equipment on him. I wonder if I should be changing that. Let me know in the comment section. Should I be swapping around any of my equipment setups? I was running Nevsky with Joan, so let's take a look at Joan, see how she did. So here we are. Joan is at 20 million kills. Not bad. And what was she at going into this KVK? Joan was at 18.31. Yeah, just about 1.7 something. Not great. Joan's awesome too. Nevsky just doesn't cut it. And I know there are people in the comments saying, Chappie, you need to break up and run Arthur primary with someone and then run Ho Chi Bing with Joan, which I could do. Yeah, you could do Arthur William. But I don't have Delta formation yet. I've been trying to invest in it, but it's just not working for me. So we'll wait and we'll see what happens with the new commanders. But overall, this March sucks. I'm incredibly disappointed. So there's Joan. Big bummer there. What about Ho Chi Bing, right? Ho Chi Bing did amazingly. I think he actually was my biggest killer last KVK, Ho Chi Bing with Arthur. So I've got high hopes for him. We got 23.9 million kills. That's not bad at all. Okay, so just about 2.6 million. Underwhelming. Not great. 2.6 million kills. Gosh. I think my archers might have outperformed everyone and I didn't invest in them nearly as much. That's a little disappointing. I think it's because when you're running 5 marches of these really high skill damage commanders that need full skill cycles, especially when you're running them against opponents that are going to be stronger than you, you're more likely to take trades that aren't as good. And so these marches are the ones that are really going to get punished because they can't cycle nearly as many times. Whereas with QSH, he's got constant damage output. So kind of a bummer. I'm presuming Arthur is going to be the same story. So we can go check Arthur out as well. So let's go over here. Here's Arthur. Bam. 8.135 million kills. And this is only his second KVK. So he's doing all right. He's doing okay. Not too bad. And we had 5.5. So again, yeah, 2.6 just about million kills between them. So that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. I'm okay with that. And again, here's my equipment that's on Ho Chi Bing. Again, let me know if I should be swapping things out, guys. I really need your input here. Should I be swapping things out? Should I be trying to crit and refine this thing? This feels like a nightmare. I don't want to awaken this. This feels like a big mistake, but I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. But this is my cavalry setup, and here is my armaments. Again, I think my Ho Chi Bing is looking pretty good, and I'm going to put balanced on him shortly, so stay tuned for that. So that's Ho Chi Bing, and that's Nevsky. Overall, pretty disappointed in my cavalry. I'm pretty disappointed in my cavalry. I'm going to be honest there. Let's check out and see if my infantry did any better. So let's go over to our dear Ragnar Lodbrok. Here he is. He's at 5.1 million kills. This is like his third KVK. Actually, I think it's his second. It's the second because I swapped for him. I'm underwhelmed. 1.6. Literally. What is that? Yeah, just about 1.6 million kills. I'm really disappointed with some of these commanders, guys. I thought Ragnar was going to be doing significantly better. I was running Ragnar CPO. Here's my Ragnar equipment, if you guys want to check that out. Nothing too crazy there. Probably one of my worst equipment sets. And then here's my Ragnar armaments. So you can check that out there. Overall, 1.6 million kills for this. I'm running him with Scipio, and I was running Scipio secondary. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to need a second infantry march here. I don't have fill-up. If the new cavalry suck, maybe I could do fill-up. We're going to have to find out. But overall, kind of disappointed in Ragnar. So let's go look at our dear boy CPO. I think Guan CPO was doing just as well as Ragnar. I didn't just say that out loud, but that's what I'm thinking. So let's go look at CPO. Here we are. CPO is at 19.3 million. And let's see. Okay, so he got a little bit more than Ragnar, it looks like. 2. No, he got very close. Yeah, just about 1.8 million kills. Dang. I'm so disappointed in these guys. I thought that they were going to do so much better. I invested so much in infantry and cavalry tech, but these marches, God, the old gen just don't hold up. This next commander, I'm really excited for. I'm really excited to see the numbers on him. So let's check it. You guys know, it's my boy, BQ, 2.9 million kills. Yes. It was worth it. So you guys may remember a video, I'll link it on the top right side. I invested in BQ and QSH just before this KVK, and I was really nervous about it. BQ pulled through 2.9 million kills, baby. How does that compare to QSH? Oh, QSH double. That's crazy. 2.9 million kills is pretty good though. I feel very good about that. I would do that decision again. That feels like the right move. And then you guys already know I benched my William Wallace, so we're not going to look at his stats because he didn't even get any fighting time. But let's double check Luce real quick. So Luce got 23.5 after KVK, and going in he had 20.6. So interesting. He got about 2.8 million kills too. 2.9. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I think that's just about what BQ got too. So I feel good about it. Luce is still a must max commander if you ask me. And let's move our equipment back over. This is my set that I use for BQ. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's fine. I really need to get this shield upgraded. I need more blueprints for this. So I've been trying to get them, but this is definitely where my gap is I need to get this shield upgraded and iconic tiered, because that enemy health ignored is so valuable. So is damage to troops on the map. Ugh, I just need more blueprints. So there's that. We covered Ragnar, we covered BQ, we covered Ho Chi Bing, we covered QSH, we covered Nevsky. Now there's one commander we have not covered, which is Gajamada. Gajamada. I said maybe I'll use Siege this KVK, right? You guys remember, I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll max Siege and use them. Well, I didn't max them. I definitely did not max them. But I'll tell you what. I did use him even though he wasn't maxed. And he was at 0 kills going into this KVK. And this is my setup, right? This is my setup. 129K, baby. So overall, my Siege didn't do much, but they got a little bit of action between Gajamada and Cordoba. That's like around 500K. So overall, I feel good about it. Eventually, these Siege will get more usage. It's just, I got to figure out my investment priorities, guys. So if you've enjoyed, let me know in the comment section below. And are the commanders that did the best the ones you thought would do the best, or are you pleasantly surprised? Thank you all. Shappy out.